This is Dmitry Bivol, and at first glance, it looks like he's casually shadowboxing after a run. But in reality, the man is snatching hornets right out of the air, training his speed and accuracy. Boxers do a lot of crazy things to prepare for their fights, but in this case, practice makes perfect. It's not flashy, but Bivol's 1-2 and footwork are the absolute best in boxing. The light heavyweight champion not only lands the most jabs out of any fighter, but he's also the hardest to hit in the entire sport. Dmitry Bivol might just be the perfect boxer, and he's gonna need to be for the biggest fight of his life. On October 12th, live on DAZN, undefeated champions Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev will square off to crown the undisputed light heavyweight champion. Bivol is a technical virtuoso, but Beterbiev has knocked out every man he's ever faced. On a card that features Sky Nicholson, Ben Whitaker, Jai Opetaia, Chris Eubank, and Wardley vs Clark 2, we're in for an explosive night of boxing. Get the pay-per-view at DAZN.com/Murdoch in the description. And if you buy the card using my link, you'll also get a 7-day free trial of DAZN, which is perfect to catch up on highlights, full fights, and behind-the-scenes content. Don't miss this absolutely stacked card. Get the pay-per-view at DAZN.com/Murdoch. In 2022, Canelo was riding the high of a generational undisputed run. He was pound for pound #1, and with his knockout power, it seemed like weight classes didn't apply. He starched light heavyweight champion Sergey Kovalev and neutralized 6'3" Callum Smith by paralyzing his left arm. Smith suffered a detached bicep, couldn't throw his left hook, and had to shell up for 12 rounds. Clearly, Canelo had the blueprint to take down giants. The sky was the limit, and he had simply transcended weight class.
Hooks overhand rights being landed by Canelo. Look at him go! Oh my word, Bivol!
Having more success landing punches than really anyone I've seen since Gennady Golovkin.
Always staying in control, not giving up control. Stop! Yeah, he's frustrated.
Well, Dmitry Bivol shocked the world and humbled the face of boxing, and his introduction to pay-per-view showcased his unique Soviet style. Aggressive but disciplined, fast combinations but not overcommitted. For 12 rounds, he never gave Canelo a chance to sit down on his punches, and he was never in one place too long to get hit. Bivol darted in and out, stinging Canelo with accurate 1-2s, all while leaving him stuck in the mud. Before the final round, Canelo's corner admitted that they had no chance. When I say Bivol is the perfect boxer, what I mean is he fought a perfect fight. Because he had to. Everyone knows that if you box Canelo to a close fight, the judges always seem to tip it in his favor. Floyd Mayweather pitched a shutout against him and still had one judge score a draw. Most people gave Canelo 2 rounds against Bivol, but all 3 judges somehow saw it the same, 115 to 113. Canelo barely lost by a single swing round, and if Bivol didn't dominate, this probably would have been a tie or worse. For the first time in 9 years, Canelo couldn't hurt his opponent. He tried to attack his biceps, but Bivol shrugged it off.
You saw it, his punch every time hard.
Your arm? How is it? Is it pretty bruised? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn. How does it feel?
I can
still
make
punch?
one more fight.
One more fight?
With this win, Dmitry Bivol made a grand entrance onto the global boxing stage, but it's his post-Canelo fights that made him a star. His next opponent was Zurdo Ramirez, and while Bivol typically rehydrates to just 180, Ramirez, the now cruiserweight champion, easily looked over 200 pounds on fight night. This time, Bivol was the smaller man, but despite the size difference, skill still prevailed. Sheer volume and accuracy drowned out Zurdo's offense. Bivol unloaded at will and defended his title without a single mark on his face. After dismantling 2 Mexican champions back-to-back, Bivol was crowned Fighter of the Year. He beat the face of boxing and quickly emerged as a new fan favorite, but it was the way he did it that captivated the boxing world. In a reductionist sense, the sport can be divided into boxers and punchers. Boxers are technically sound and highly skilled, and punchers are, well, heavy hitters. Not saying every fighter falls neatly into these two categories, but some of the greatest fights of all time are when a technician took on a pure power puncher. Now Bivol isn't exactly a one-punch knockout artist, but he isn't a boring point fighter either. He's defensively sound, but he's also not a runner. Basically, he's aggressive enough to create highlights, with defensive skill that boxing purists can still appreciate. Those who say technical boxing is boring haven't seen Dmitry Bivol. Hit and don't get hit. Boxing's most fundamental rule can be beautiful when done right. Bivol does it right. And in a sport where loudmouths and bullies hog the spotlight, it's refreshing to see a stoic fighter who's just about fighting. Jean-Pascal tried to intimidate him at weigh-ins, but Bivol stood his ground and simply smiled. No need to retaliate when you can let your fists do the talking. The champion outboxed the challenger with fundamentals and pristine footwork, letting his hands go to seal the deal. And the fight against Canelo could have been overwhelming. It was his first pay-per-view and his first big payday against a global superstar. Many boxers have shrunk in the moment on the big stage, but Bivol was cool, calm, and collected. He had the mental fortitude to not get riled when the crowd roared at every Canelo punch, and he stayed scarily calm when he almost got suplexed. The win was huge for his career, no doubt, but at the end of the day, Bivol is chasing greatness. A rematch would stuff his pockets, but he would rather build his legacy. Following the Zurdo victory and a one-sided affair against Lyndon Arthur, it was finally time to crown an undisputed light heavyweight champion. Beterbiev the puncher versus Bivol the boxer. The two were originally to meet on June 1st until a ruptured meniscus sidelined Beterbiev. Last-minute replacement Malik Zanad did his best, but Bivol proved there are levels to the game, scoring his first knockout in over 6 years. And that's what makes this matchup infinitely more interesting. Neither champion has been particularly active. Since 2020, Bivol has only fought 6 times, and Beterbiev has fought 5. By fight night, Beterbiev will have been out of the ring for 9 months, and at 39 years old coming off multiple surgeries, there are some question marks surrounding his condition. But at the end of the day, this is a man with a 100% knockout ratio. 20 men have entered the ring against Archer, but none have ever walked out. Bivol is hoping to be the first one. He has the skills, but he also has to avoid the power for all 12 rounds. In a truly 50-50 fight, I don't know who's gonna win, but I do know we're about to witness an absolute war. The last time Bivol fought, a Chinese heavyweight and an American heavyweight featured as the co-main event. Everyone knew someone was getting put to sleep, but this one punch actually changed boxing history. Check out this video to see how Deontay Wilder's legacy was forever altered.